Welcome to another edition of Inside the Film Room, presented by Microsoft Surface. Bob Papa, two-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks. The Giants make a big trade, and they bring in Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers. Carl, all he's done is get 46 sacks already in his career, and who better to break it down than famous 58?
Bob, there is so much to love about Burns, and the thing about it, these guys don't come around that often, and to be able to get him in a trade, a team that's willing to let him go, you've got to rethink it. But good for the Giants in getting a player who's going to be nothing but fantastic. And let's just take a look. The first thing that jumps off the screen to me is his range. He's very rangy. He gets from point A to point B pretty quick, and then he's got the lean for a guy who is rangy as he is. Let's just take a chop and then another chop. He gets the ball out, right? So that is what you get from a speed rush standpoint, right? He doesn't like contact in a good way, meaning he does not spend a lot of time on blocks. He disengages and he just keeps it going. And you'll see it again here on the edge there. That's just power and disengage. If you just take a look again, it's not a lot. He pushes him back 2 steps, just enough so that he can free himself. 1, 2, and he's off the block. A lot of power rushers, they'll just keep pushing, but him, he creates space and then he gets into it.
Yeah, he almost made it look like the guy trying to block him wasn't trying to block him. That's how fast he shed him.
And here he is again, just another good move, doesn't spend a lot of time on contact. Take a look. Guy barely touches him. He gets to the quarterback and he finishes.
Yeah, the Giants had a guy named Osi Umenyiora that was pretty good at that stuff.
Yeah, that guys that don't like contact in a good way. And then here it is one more time, Bob. Let's just take a look. Spin move. Again, does not spend a lot of time tied up on blocks. And I think in that sense, he's going to be a good complement for Kayvon Thibodeau. In the run game, here he is in space. He's got to get off a block here. You see him up there, wide receivers blocking him. Now, he's not using his hands, but he's able to disengage, and then you see the range where he can get back to the line of scrimmage to make the play. But this is a play where if you got a smaller guy on you, the length that he has as a defensive end / linebacker, he's got to be able to take this guy, separate, and then get off. But he's spending a lot of time getting pushed back. Then he finds himself, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and then he's got that explosion to get right to the football.
Yeah, he doesn't look explosive, but he has great acceleration.
All right, we got another one here to look at him on the edge.
Yeah, here he is again on the edge here, slightly off. Now that's explosion there. Right, but you can see he stays alive in every play. I'll pause it right there. Now, most guys would drive a guy in the ground. He's off, and his eyes are at the running back here, and he makes the play.
So a lot of different things he brings to the table, Carl.
Yeah, he is just an excellent football player. He's an elite football player. He's at the top end of defensive ends in this league.
So then when you look at him and you look at Kayvon Thibodeau and then you couple that with Dexter Lawrence being a Pro Bowl player on the inside and the force that he has, how do you see it all kind of coming together?
Well, it's going to be disruptive. Obviously, we haven't had a lot of time to spend with the defensive coordinator, and he's going to talk about the type of defense that he wants out there on the field. But if you want to take a glimpse at what it could look like, go back and look at the playoff game, the Tennessee Titans versus Joe Burrow in the Bengals. They got after him with 4 in very seldom blitz, and it was hell for that quarterback. So if you want to see what it could look like when your players are playing at their best, that playoff game, Tennessee versus Cincinnati, you'll see what a 4-man rush can be in terms of disruption.
Yeah, and listen, the Giants won Super Bowls 42 and 46, getting there with the fewest amount of people. And oh, by the way, you won Super Bowls 21 and 25 without having to blitz a ton.
Correct.
And doing it with your up front guys, and that makes coverages a lot easier.
Well, it gives you a lot of flexibility in coverage, too, because now quarterbacks are not counting the rushers. Now they got to look and see where there may be an opening, and it's harder when you got an extra guy in coverage.
That's a look at Brian Burns, one of the new Giants. For Carl Banks, I'm Bob Papa. Inside the Film Room, presented by Microsoft Surface.